The Sasquatch rainbow, Cancer. Do Sasquatches create with their trees? I'm really interested about the tree thing. So I don't understand. Like, so do Sasquatches, when they move, they break the trees and they fall in that direction, or do they actually go back and pick up the broken pieces of the tree and make the X? That's my question. Do you have the answer for me?
What did you pick?
Or do you need to call a friend?
What did you pick again?
So in the Sasquatch...
No, what sign did you pick?
Oh, Cancer.
From the imaging that I have seen...
I'm listening.
There are many different forms of the Sasquatch calling card. There is the in the trees, like we said. They can be bent. They can be bent, and they will be very straight edges. I saw one with multiple pieces. I'm telling you, multiple. So not even just an X. It's almost like a star figure, aka portal to another dimension. Other ones, it just kind of bends. So I'm sure if it's maybe like a looping tree, you know, something that they kind of have a magnetic pole, you know, that those Sasquatch, they use those mythical like creature skills that they have accumulated over eons and eons of life in the dense forests. And then they manipulate the tree with their energetic ray beams that come out of their human monkey hands. And then it whoom, whoom, whoom. And then the trees, they bend.
I still haven't got the answer because it's a very unnatural way that it looks. It looks like somebody is propping the trees for the pictures. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's a portal of love. Quantum.
No, okay, here. Okay, I have one more question.
That was quantum teak. That wasn't even.
You just opened up a whole other thing. Since the male Sasquatches are so hung,
yeah,
is it what part of the Sasquatch makes it this thing to make it look that way with the trees? Is it that big old thing that's just smacking into the trees?
It's their Sasquatch love force. The Sasquatch love force comes radiating up from the earth out of their giant Sasquatch hands into that tree. It's a momentous love experience.
Can I just say something about this?
Of course.
I mean, 2020 brought us a lot of craziness, right? The last thing in my mind I thought I would be talking about would be Sasquatch. I mean, I feel Sasquatch was very 80s.
It's back. They're coming full circle. Well, it's almost like the forgotten generation of Sasquatch because they were here. Do you remember Harry and the Hendersons? I mean, Sasquatch was in our living room on like every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Central. And then all of a sudden, Harry was gone and left us with a giant void within our heart. And now he's back.
So basically, it's going to come back to a television show called Alf. That's who Sasquatch is. At the end of the day, is Alf.
Well, Alf
was Alf hung?
No. Alf would be like the Keebler elf of the forest, I would say. I think that he would be living in the tree up there, perched up, kind of watching. He'd be Sasquatch's eyes and ears of the above foliage, and then they work together in unison to create harmony within inside the forest for all the woodland creatures.
God, you got all the info, bro.
I'm just channeling it, you know.
Okay, so I swear this will be my last one about Sasquatch. So we know it's back from the 80s.
Harry's back.
And so would that turn into Alf? what's going to come out now? Like, I have a good, this is, yeah, so could the Sasquatch be the one that gave the world coronavirus because of the fact that 2 apes have been tested and have coronavirus, and they're saying it's from the zookeeper who was asymptomatic who wore a mask?
No, I think that
So what I'm trying to say is it's not the girl with the mask on that's asymptomatic. What if apes and like, what if Sasquatch just goes and has his time with his apes, and then leaves? Did they check the tree line around San Diego Zoo?
No, I think that it had to do with tainted samples from an alien abduction in the Mission Bay, San Diego, on New Year's Eve. Those aliens, they got a little lazy. They didn't clean off the instruments after, and then they abducted the gorillas from the zoo to do a little genome sequence. Tainted samples got into the gorillas. And voila, now we're going to have an outbreak, and it's going to be Planet of the Apes coming here in 2021. That is my bold prediction. Planet of the Apes 2021. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, so somebody had brought up, too, that, the president of Nigeria is testing all the bananas, and they've tested positive for COVID, too. And it's true. I think a lot of, I always feel that the only sanity in this world is Africa. It's in the middle, and they live the way that, I guess, I think it's really ironic, Westerners who try to be like, we live for the earth and how the way the earth should be. It's like, okay, well, then go to Africa, because that's how they're doing it. Right. But if that's your idea or belief. But 2, I like that there was a couple different leaders in Africa that were testing fruit and animals and stuff, and they weren't. It was like they were popping positive, but I think that what the story and the narrative about the San Diego story is going to pop up as is because remember they found this new patented UK variant since the UK didn't have a patent yet on this pandemic. So right around the time that they got their in the arm shot approved, that I think that they're trying to say in this new story that came out today is that if you wear a mask and you're asymptomatic, that this thing is so intense now and mutated that it spreads, including to apes. So I was thinking about this today. I'm like, so what are they going to go with this now? They don't want you around anybody because it'll spread by anybody? So we're going to throw you in, like in New York, the new detention camps, right? That idea. Like, that's what's scaring to me is this story because it's like they're using it as it. You don't put out that story unless you're going to go somewhere with it. And especially the fact that they showed the picture of the zookeeper with the mask on. Like, why do you show that? Why don't you just show a normal picture of her, like how she's always worked there, like in her San Diego Zoo outfit? No. You have to show like the picture of her with the mask on and that she was asymptomatic and she spread it to the 2 chimps. Like, then she was asymptomatic, but how do we really even know that?
Well, maybe she was having a chariot moment with the 2 apes.
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, my God. That's why I'm saying, Newsom, bro, it was the Sasquatches. You need to check the tree lines. And have you been testing Sasquatch yet? You got 500,000 signatures, bro. You better watch out.
Newsom couldn't catch Sasquatch.
I'm just like, day. I'm like looking out for him, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like letting you know, dude. Like, bro.
We coming.
Like, you need to look into that story a little more because it feels very, I was going to say fishy, but I should have said Sasquatchy. Cancers, it's time for you all.
made some beef stew today in the crock pot.
Oh,
It's going to be delicious.
do you get it from the beef from San Diego Zoo?
No. I didn't. Got it.
Is this Sasquatch soup?
It is organic. All organic, all day.
6 of Cups in
Steamy
reverse.
stew. Coming for you, Cancers.
Your challenge card is the King of Swords. Your overall is the 10 of Cups reversed. Oof. And your challenge to get through it is the 5 of Cups. Upright. So, 6 of Cups. It's kind of a rough card there, reverse. It's, you know, it's the card of memories, of course. Of course, in this one it says fuck social distancing, right? But there's this reversal here. I would say... with this King of Swords here and this 10 of Cups, I would say that the challenge is, if you think that you understand the way that your magical love story should look, and you're referring it to this memories or this safe space for it to be in, it's not there. There's a lot of questions that you don't really understand where things are going. You've got the 5 of Cups, the sorrow card, the bye bitch on understanding where things are going. So, you know, it's kind of rough because this is kind of like a hard reading for Cancers, because these are all cards, especially the 2 main ones here. The 6 of Cups is very safe. It's very inviting and creates simple and beautiful memories in a beautiful garden. But then you've got this 10 of Cups reverse, which is like the whole story of the family that gets together and creates this rainbow. That's this beautiful story, and it's reversed. And it's got this bye bitch kind of energy emotionally. So either somebody's saying bye or you're saying bye, because maybe, you know, there's definitely some rough energy here. Pull the Devil card here. Oof. Which can be addicted or feeling like, you know, you're kind of addicted to the past memories, or, you know, this one's a really weird reading, because this one's tough. I'm trying to be nice, but I don't know how to be nice. It's a shitty reading. The Devil card with the 6 of Cups would be bad memories. Maybe it's bad memories that you continue to hold on to. Could be also a partner you're with from the past that's trying to come back, that's bad. And you think you know. It could be somebody it's definitely somebody from the past. There's definitely a past energy here with that past 6 of Cups. And then, but you're trying to move forward into something. So it's almost like bad memories from the past coming up. You pulled the 9 of Swords. Wow. I mean, these are all really hard cards. This is the anxiety card with the 10 of Cups. I think that you're going through a really big freak out this week about whether or not your love story in general is going to turn into a demonstrous ex or past trauma situation, because I think that you don't understand where things are going. And, you know, for you, it's like accepting the way through this is like realize that, you know, not everything's going to look the way it is, and to not get too emotionally invested in it being a certain way. These are extreme cards. So I'm going to pick Judgment. Wow. Fuck. With the Devil and the Knight of Wands. So that's good. I would say that the Judgment card is, there has to be a higher source of the reason for your love stories. It can't just be based upon safe spaces and emotions and, you know, sexual connection or just an obsession. Like, there has to be a Judgment card is like doing something for the highest good, for the highest of all life. of spirituality. Like there has to be a calling. And then the love story and the way that you want it to look is anxiety ridden, because is it really you wanting to leap in, or are you kind of hesitant of leaping in? Why are you not understanding where this is going? Ace of Cups. It's because there's definitely a lot of fears of really embracing. You're feeling empty fully emotionally in some sort of way, or something's off emotionally, or you're afraid of sorrow. So that's what you don't fill the cup up fully. You keep it like there's like, like a line that you reach on the cup that you're like, I don't know if I want to add any more emotion here because I don't want it to go to sorrow. This also could be you emotionally ready to pull out of a situation deeply, or somebody's pulling out and you're freaking out, but maybe they're freaking out because maybe you're stuck in the past trauma, or maybe you're, freaked out about the future of a beautiful life from not wanting to jump into, that's a Knight of Wands. He leaps into love, and look at both of them have that cross there. And there has to be this deep spiritual reason and purpose for things, and a mission energy. Your overall that you got here is Uranus, so it's going to be an unpredictable and rattling week here. But it's taking you to, the better side of things, but it's going to look crazy. It's going to be a crazy week. And your sexy time reading here is Sexy crab. You got the Two of Pentacles reversed. So that's a lot of juggling around, but it's reversed. So I would feel like it's, you're in so many different places energetically. It might be fun being in an all over the place energy, sexually, but with Uranus there, yeah, fuck it. I think that there's a lot of fuck it. And I think that it's like, fuck it to being connected to the past, fuck it to being afraid, fuck it to see if the cup gets emptied, it gets emptied. If it gets filled, it gets filled. I think that it's like letting go of so much attachment to the way that things ought to look, should look, and the emotions and the sorrows that could be connected to that or not, and the fears. You pulled the 8th house Virgo South Node. So this is the issue, I would say, is the delusion of how exactly things need to look for you to connect. The North Node would be opposite of this in Pisces in the second, that it's about just letting go and letting things build beautifully in this natural way and being more carefree and open instead of so specific and trying to get to the depths of things, or trying to get too deep and get too analytical about things, and trying also becoming too detective-like. And also I would say it's like 8th house and Virgo really don't go well. Life is not meant to be a machine. This would be getting out of your machine-like tendencies for your passions and what you want. That's not how to draw it in. It's building a magical castle and dream of life that can only happen by being in an easy and magical place.
Because there's no absolute truth that you're just going to be continue to live by day in and day out. You're going to evolve a bit. The way that you look at individuals, the way you look at your life is going to change as you grow, as you learn new things. So it's going to be evolving. So you have to be flexible as well. You have to be willing to kind of flow with it and adapt and change, pivot your views, pivot your energy force and put it into other aspects of your life that are going to be more beneficial at that time. Don't just get stuck because you maybe had this initial thought of what you're going to go and focus on and what you're going to work on. If that's not necessarily working and you're having to force constantly, okay, go and see where it's actually flowing. See where the energy is actually taking you. See where your life and where your goals and where this thought process that you've kind of been honing in on for a while, where that's actually pinpointing. Because sometimes we might be looking at a picture, like we said earlier, you get a little too close to it and you can't actually see what's really going on. So if you take a step back, you'll be able to see where you need to move on a much more even playing field.
Yeah, I think got
in there.
I think that if you again, it's like complicating things and coming. I think when you say it's an even playing field, it's like everybody's just showing up as best they can, and I think expecting others to be a certain way or the story to be a certain way and getting caught up in the details of things, it just fucks things up because nobody can ever meet those standards, you know?